Gaming so much to prove here. And most interestingly, both of these teams, right, made one specific team change each to make sure that they would become the world champions this season. Space Station has already shown that it's paid off, but they fell flat in London. OpTic Gaming still looking for their first win of the season. We are underway. OpTic Gaming versus Space Station here, your grand finals at the HCS Atlanta Major.
OpTic Gaming coming off the back of a hot win as well with some of the flashiest plays that we've seen so far in this tournament. Space Station had to bide their time a little bit. Maybe it's going to take them a few moments to get that rhythm together, but off the break here, it's going to be OpTic Gaming who have their rhythm broken. 3 dead off the rip, and Eco already getting that ball back to blue.
Man, what a pleasure to watch these two teams. Always a battle, and especially in a grand final with so much on the line, not just the cash prize, but also, of course, the bragging rights and the momentum for the rest of the season. Everything to play for here with these two teams.
Bound trying to escape. With this shock rifle in his hands, he is last alive here for SSG, so a really good break actually coming in from OpTic Gaming to make sure that that oddball wasn't taken back to blue and significant time wasn't put up by SSG. Lucid, he's got his ankle protectors and his shin pads on and manages to stay alive through those shots coming in. Legend gets a pick. And that's going to put OpTic on the back foot for just a few seconds. Dead Zone also going to fall. And maybe Lucid, who pokes back out, isn't going to be so lucky to get away with his life this time.
3 dead again. Trippy was your last player alive. And one thing that immediately stands out when you're watching this match is these two teams have earned their spot here. Sometimes when you get to a grand final, some teams have had an easier bracket. Maybe they haven't had to work their way as hard as their opponents. However, with these 8 players on your screen, you look at these names and you think, my God, they have had unbelievable tournaments, pop-off moments, incredible teamwork, and it's going to be a bloodbath. And you can tell that already because it's so low scoring early on. Only 13 points on the board so far in game number 1.
Yeah, it's interesting that you talk about low scoring. I think it's a combination of how good people are playing, but also just the respect, right? Yeah. People realize they can't get that odd ball away without guaranteeing kills before they start to move that ball. Holding that ball is exactly what SSG are going to do right now. It's 4 dead for OpTic. SSG with full control of this map.
They'll go into the lead as well. And like you said, slow and steady wins the race for SSG. They're now outslaying 16-8.
Looks like the A-spawns came in there for OpTic Gaming. Maybe Legend just pushed up a little bit too far on Turbine. Maybe they were trying to force it, just didn't make the play off the back of it. It's going to be 2 dead thanks to the bullets coming in from the Bandit of Bound, as OpTic did get those first picks, but weren't able to make too much of it. Bound trying to escape with the camo. It's going to be down in the pit. Dead Zone with a double kill, and that man has played some Halo today.
That's a big play there. They were just being outslayed 19-10, but that slowly inches things back in their favor, and it also, because of that double, leads to a camo grab here for Lucid.
Stella has that oddball in his hand, though. And he's rotating it away from the OpTic Gaming members that he's aware of. However, here's the camo.
Wow.
There's Lucid with some great shots onto Stella. Oddball is still down, and there's going to be a trade up on the glass, which means the oddball is going to be in a neutral position for now. OpTic will scoop it up, as they do have a little bit of support. And now you have the shot in the hands of Lucid. And he can do anything, like we saw a little bit earlier with that sniper rifle. Well, this is going to be a good few moments for OpTic.
I love that from Lucid. Look at the way he's moving around this map. There's so much to talk about there. Unbelievable with camo. Just jumps up to glass. There's 3 players there, and he just isolates the target so perfectly to make sure they get control. Now still with shock in hand.
Legend just gets fizzled a little bit there, but certainly not fried. Keeps his life for a few more moments. Just 1 point between these two teams at the moment. That ball is in a precarious position, as is Lucid. But Lucid just staying alive is taking the attention away from SSG. And OpTic members elsewhere managed to pick up just a couple of kills. Bound now, he's on the flank. He's trying to force his way through Turbine. Eco's going to be pinching onto Dead Zone, who plays that ball back to batteries. And it looks like a reset on the map here for both teams.
Really nice from Dead Zone. Look, Dead Zone stayed alive the whole time as well. He played the ball and stayed alive to wait for teammates. That's a nice amount of time on the board, especially when OpTic's getting outslayed by 8, yet they still lead. So far, it's been OpTic who's been a little bit more efficient with the ball work.
2 dead on the side of SSG. Bound now going to find himself in a position where his teammates are down. And he's going to be joining them as well. 3 in a bed for SSG for now. OpTic with a chance to maybe look for a 4 dead. And Dead Zone's going to fly. He gets the beat down. No trade on the side of Eco. And you would imagine with the ball being reset, there should be an opportunity to grab this, maybe with that grapple he's got in his hand.
You expect it to be. Bound, by the way, on your screen. He's 12-5. And he's got a camo. Ooh, my. Trippy makes sure to neutralize that. That's a big, big finish. Trippy gets 2 as well, which could extend the OpTic lead if they can get this ball off the stand.
Stella now, last alive. OpTic with another opportunity to get that ball back into pipes, and that's exactly what they are going to do. Trippy trying to force the pace. Trippy going to take the 1v1, but Stella wins that 1v1, falling from the skies. He's the one who connects with that headshot first.
I mean, the confidence there from Stellar. Anyone who's played enough Halo Infinite knows that when you're dropping down from a catwalk there, that's not easy to refocus. Instead, he just drops back down with complete confidence in that Trippy 1v1 from a disadvantageous angle. And in the end, cleans that kill up. still, like we said, 3 dead for the moment. It was essentially a 2v1 for just a brief second. Still 40-29 in favor of OpTic Gaming. Game clock is what we're going to start to focus on here, Mark. Only 125 left.
Certainly are. Time's starting to slip away a little bit here. SSG will be more aware of that. But they're the team who have to make the moves. Bound to be taken down. Great shots coming in from Formal once more, but it is going to be Stellar who gets that ball in his hands for just a few moments. But he's going to have to rotate away. I mean, we have the luck to have the outlines of where the players are going to be, and Stellar does get chased down. So now Eco, even though he's trying to put pressure, he knows he has to try and pressurize this off ball, because otherwise the lead's going to get out of hand. Dead Zone in front of him. Dead Zone still in front of him. Dead Zone still in front of him and standing over his dead body.
The crowd likes what they see as well. Anytime you got to drop that ball first and still win a 1v1, it's a big deal. Stellar is your last player alive. As you can see, he's going to have spawners on long haul. This is going to be continued time for OpTic Gaming, and now about a 30-point lead about to take place.
Cushion is starting to build here for OpTic Gaming. It's been good control for them. Love the way that they haven't at any point tried to get scrappy with it. It's always been about control. If you're not sure, don't worry about that oddball. We have the lead in our hands. 4 dead for SSG, and now it is comfortable. This is going to be at least 10, 15 points more being added to the total of OpTic.
This is big. They're going to be ready for these spawns as well. If they get the first pick here yet again, this might actually be the round here.
Formal jiggle peeking with Bound. Bound's going to have to back down. The shield advantage is certainly in the hands of the man on your screen right now. Formal turns around to finish off Legend bottom middle, and Dead Zone all the while is just holding that ball in his hands. Bound is stuck in the tower. There might be time for one more push from SSG, but if not, this is going to be the first round going to OpTic.
Wow, unbelievable. 90 points on the board. OpTic was trailing, as we said, by 9-kill deficit. 2 dead again. Unbelievable. OpTic Gaming goes into the slaying lead for the first time at the 94-point mark.
Stellar with a desperation play, top goal, not going to be able to get anywhere near that oddball. And Dead Zone, who has had the easiest job in the world for the last 30 seconds or so, gets the first round on the board for OpTic.
Unbelievable there. In the end, it's a huge point margin difference in that first round, despite it being, once again, as we said, a big close game in terms of kills. In the end, OpTic outslays 48-44 after, once again, it being 29-20. Space Station lets that game slip away from them.
And another great round from Dead Zone, right? 73 points on the board. He had the most objective time by far in the lobby. Also had the most kills on OpTic Gaming and the least deaths. That's how well he played that round. Dead Zone, he's been outstanding so far today.
He really has. Now, the opening, Space Station knows they need to bounce back in a very big way here. Formal gonna win that battle bottom middle. Now try to get his way back to elevator as well.
I think the concern for SSG from that first round was how they were just felt like they were unable to really consistently break the setup that OpTic Gaming had when they had that 4 dead situation, when OpTic could take map control. SSG was struggling to even get the first pick in the situation to slow down the scoring. So SSG has got a lot to work on here. This time, they're not going to have to worry about the pipe setup for now. They're going to have to worry about the elevator setup, but they're also going to have to worry about Lucid, which they do so. Take the shock rifle out of his hands, and maybe that's the break they needed. 2 dead for OpTic.
Stellar barely gets away, connects as well, and you never want to have this guy with the shock in hand if you're on the side of OpTic Gaming. 4 dead for OpTic Gaming, and as soon as Stellar gets the shock on height, look what he can do with it now. It will be Space Station off to another early lead, but they know that they need to play the entire round this time, as they let that first one really slip out of their hands.
Bound did a good job as well, just making sure he collected that ball very quickly as well to get it back in towards the elevator for that setup. A little body shot from Dead Zone. Onto Dead Zone, excuse me, from Stellar. It isn't going to be enough to take him down, and now all of a sudden you're seeing he gets scrappy. OpTic have managed to really not let Space Station get a considerable chunk of time here. It's a very similar start to what we saw in round 1. Nobody wanted to overcommit for that oddball until the kills come their way. OpTic find themselves with 2 dead, and there's 2 fresh spawners as well.
One thing I also got to point out is Bound stats. He's 18-13 now. A while ago, he was about 13-4 or so. 3 dead for OpTic Gaming, by the way. So you can just tell that he's really putting pedal to the metal there in the end. His deaths have really crept up relative to his kills. Did everything he could at the end of that round to keep things close, but in the end, it was a dominant round win. However, Space Station now with a narrow lead in this second round. 3 dead. Stellar's last player alive on stacks with the C spawners.
Yeah, this is really impressive stuff. I mean, Formal goes for that oddball, but his job there was to help Dead Zone get the camouflage. He did exactly that, and now Legend, having got his first pick, has no idea where Dead Zone has relocated. It's going to be 1 kill at least, maybe even 2. Stellar's trying to give him the wiggles. That's a big kill going in the favor of SSG. Stellar not willing to trade, only willing to go 1-0 in that fight.
The 2 teams, by the way, tied once again at the 64 kill mark. Interestingly, Stellar is leading the game with 21-15. However, once again, it has not translated to objective efficiency just yet. Dead Zone is the last player alive for OpTic Gaming. This should be time for Space Station.
I mean, this was all Stellar. This run that we're seeing now, because he got that kill onto the camo player, had no right to do that, didn't trade the situation, flies back out, gets that first kill, then immediately recognizes next thing to do, get some more points on the board, and that's exactly what he does. Rotates it towards those teammates off spawn, picks up another kill. Stella's doing it all at the moment.
Really doing everything he can there, tries to rotate the ball all the way to C. In the end, it does get cut off. You have to wonder if it was a bit of an over-rotate potentially. In the end, it was going to be OpTic Gaming grabbing time and about to tie up the round.
Looks like Lucid knows of Eco's position there, down on the yellow door, needs it out, forces him back. And for all the good work we just saw from Space Station Gaming, now we are seeing the lead change. OpTic back into the lead now, 33 points and rising. SSG get a couple of kills though. Lucid might get one here, but it's going to be a trade somehow from Stella, once again showing that it's not an easy kill when you're going up against the man whose name is Stella.
Shake of the head there from Lucid. There, it looked like a little bit of a confusing battle at the end of the sneaky there. The pre-nades looked good from our side. 2 dead for Space Station Gaming, and Eco's going to have to retreat just a bit as there's good pre-nades coming in from Control as well. Still a relatively low-scoring game. It's OpTic up by about 10 here.
Camouflage is the focus for both teams at the moment. Lucid going to get a pick. Lucid going to survive for just long enough, but Eco again with the right elbow to secure himself a kill. Formal now trying to get an angle on that camo. 2 dead for OpTic, 1 dead on the side of SSG. It's going to be 3 dead now for OpTic. This should be a camo pickup for SSG.
Stellar now with another camo and an opportunity to get back in this. Still, by the way, leads the game in kills. Balin only behind him. Space Station narrowly leading in the kills category, but once again, not able to translate into points on the board just yet.
Yeah, really interesting. Actually, that kind of worked out for OpTic Gaming there. Constantly being able to challenge bottom middle means that SSG were never getting oddball time. The camo popping up at the time that they won that initial battle has allowed them to kind of keep it scrappy, keep it messy, and not let them get set up on the map. A 2v2 on the map turns into a 1 versus 2 in the favor of Space Station Gaming. Trippy is trying to survive, but this shock rifle takes a huge amount of damage, but not enough to take him down.
Finally, I mean, shields have been flashing for what felt like 12 seconds. Finally gets his shields back and avoids the next grenade that might have been coming in. And God, you really cannot ask for a better matchup, right? As we talked about, these teams, by the way, still within 1 kill of each other in total slays. It's amazing to watch just absolute, as you say, strategic. My God, by the way, shots from Lucid there from the bat ledge, absolutely beautiful. Just really just strategic mastery from both teams, just trying to get the hold that they can. OpTic Gaming still narrowly leading in round 2, 39-30. We'll see if they can continue it with a listening.
They're pushing tower. Yeah, weak, banker pit, and one on bottom tower. One shot bottom mid, one shot bottom mid. I'm gonna go gold, man, go gold.
Yeah, already gold, they're already gold. There's 2 guys tower, and there's 1 guy gold.
Gold here, yep.
Good plays there.
You buy now, sell it. 3 times though, 3 guys. Only 1 guy gold, only 1 guy gold. Only 1 guy gold, get the gold.
Yep,
only 1 guy. 1v1 this kid, 1v1 this kid, go.
Yeah.
1v1 this kid, chill.
Go, he's on ball.
One shot, gold door, one shot ballage.
Neither to turbine.
One shot ballage now, which is a sitting ballage. Do there.
Yeah.
Play for
No, we don't really need to play in the goal. We should play for camo, honestly.
10 seconds.
I need to run up tower. Hold those. We're gonna go up gold door. I'm watching gold door tower, guys. We're going
On
tower.
tower.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow you up. C plat weak.
I'm looking C plat.
Might be ratting here.
Yeah, these guys are ratting.
Yeah, back salad.
I'm watching village. One guy C plat. One guy C plat.
Back salad, C plat.
Gold door. One guy. C plat.
Back salad, Tom.
C plat. 2 shot. I got bottom
Yeah,
camo.
long back silo.
You missed it. Back to camo now.
Back to camo, C plat on you, Tommy. Yep.
C plat still. And not single stack. Yeah, ball's rotating. You guys double.
I'll try double side.
Watch your glass.
Am I gonna get out with camo?
C plat. One shot.
Glass on me?
Looking glass. Looking at you.
Weird nade. Weird nade.
Walking. Going blue pipes. Up tower, bottom tower. One top tower. One shot. We gotta just hit C plat here. We should try to hit C plat.
Yeah, one shot. Yo, silo.
Camo's here. Bottom middle. C box is one shot. And blue tunnel. Live. Run up. Play the ball. Tower. Just toss it.
Alva comes back into the game. You're going to see the ball be played here, but while the listening was going on, SSG were busy picking up ball time. They now have their biggest lead we've seen so far in this game.
Absolutely, 3 dead though. See if Balin can do anything in the pipes. He gets taken down to 4 dead. Eco is your first spawner, and an opportunity for OpTic to get right back in this game. They trail by 20.
Pipe setup again is what they are looking for. Stella's the closest player forward, but there's 2 to try and deal with him, and Trippy's just going to stick him. And that's going to be good enough. And now a second kill will be picked up as well. It's a solid push coming in, but it's a bit of a flood. It's straight into those grenades from SSG and made those kills maybe a little bit simpler for OpTic than they would have wanted. Dead Zone now leaves that ball behind. It's going to be picked up by a teammate. He's going to finish off the kill onto Eco, you would imagine. Ex-teammates going up against each other, and it's Dead Zone who wins yet another battle, which should create some space for his team.
Lead change here. OpTic Gaming does go into the lead here with 30 seconds left on the clock now as they cross the 80-point mark. Not much left here.
See, the Shroud went down there on the camo jump as well. Maybe SSG trying to sneak forward, trying to coordinate a push here to try and break No connection with the shock rifle, just the melee, and now you're seeing the rotate from Trippy, but there's a shock rifle at his back. He's trying to throw it out into a position where SSG aren't going to be able to do too much with it, but Eco is waiting. Eco is grabbing, and with just 8 points needed, OpTic Gaming went 4 dead, and this is SSG's chance to turn this game around. One more push coming in. Formal going to be the first forward.
Here comes a push. Formal might win this 1v1 in the back. Single-handedly, 4 dead. What a push from OpTic Gaming to close the round. They needed it. It had to be perfect, and they do it.
OpTic Gaming will go up 1-0. What a push that was. No one fell. Everybody lived.